She told her friends she was going into the forest on a spiritual quest and promised she would be back by midnight. But that night, Maureen Kelly disappeared. There was no phone call, no goodbye. And despite an enormous search through one of Washington's most remote forests, she was never seen again. It was June 9th, 2013. 19-year-old Maureen Leanuhea Kelly, known to some as Anu, was camping with friends at Canyon Creek Campground inside Washington's Gifford Pinchot National Forest. Maureen had reportedly been talking about going on a spiritual quest for some time. And that evening, around 5 p.m., she decided to do it. She left the campsite alone, heading toward the forest. Her friends expected her to return within a few hours. But there was something deeply unusual about what she carried with her. Maureen had left her clothes and shoes behind. The only things she reportedly carried were inside a small fanny pack, a knife, matches, and a compass. She told her friends she intended to return by midnight, but midnight came, and Maureen didn't. Her friends waited. Then, shortly after midnight, they contacted authorities. A missing person search began, and the question became terrifyingly simple. Where had Maureen gone? Search teams entered the dense forest. The terrain around Canyon Creek was steep, heavily wooded, and difficult to navigate. Investigators eventually found footprints believed to match Maureen's feet. The tracks indicated that she had crossed Canyon Creek and continued north toward Forest Service Road 54. Search and rescue teams were brought in. Trained searchers combed the area. K-9 teams were also used. But there was a problem. The trail seemed to disappear. No clear destination. No confirmed sighting. No belongings that explained where she had gone. And after an extensive search, authorities still had no answer. Authorities did not initially suspect foul play. There was also no indication in the initial investigation that Maureen had been under the influence of drugs. One possibility quickly became the most concerning: hypothermia. Temperatures in the forest could become dangerously cold at night, and Maureen had entered the wilderness without normal clothing or footwear. But there was still one enormous problem. Her body was never found. If she had succumbed to the elements, where were the remains? And if she had managed to survive, where did she go? More than a decade later, Maureen Kelly's disappearance remains one of the haunting mysteries connected to the Pacific Northwest wilderness. In 2024, human remains were discovered in the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. Reports said the remains might be connected to Maureen's case or to another missing hiker, but the identification was not confirmed. So the central mystery remains. What happened to Maureen Kelly after she walked into that forest? Did the wilderness take her? Did she somehow find a way out? Or is there a part of this story that investigators have never discovered? More than 13 years later, the forest still hasn't given up its answer.